Well, hello and welcome to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins Get Good Edition. I'm your host, Yeoman Hero, and today my intention is get to the rest of Fort Draken and take down big bad dragon dude. That's my intention. What is it? I want to make sure I've looked at every nook and cranny of this place. I think that's where it came from.
Ask away.
Never mind. That's not what I wanted to do. Of course, we've already gotten through all of this. I don't remember being in here and killing stuff. Like at all. And that worries me. Okay, so this is the area where your characters would have been held in cells. But as I said before, we circumvented that by just outright taking out Sir Cothran. So, no problem there. There's a barrel over here.
I'm off.
There's a whole bunch of dead things in this room. And here's Sandal. What are you doing here?
Enchantment?
Sandal, you're surrounded by darkspawn corpses. What happened here?
Enchantment!
Okay. That just happened. Equipped by... Okay, equipped by Hector. Alistair, you need some more... Okay, so Liliana has that. You're gonna take this... Okay, so those are good. Except...
Enchantment?
You don't happen to have any of your dad's wares for sale, do you? And of course he does. We're going to take all of the potions that this guy has. Injury kits. Just all of the stuff. Because we can afford it. I'm gonna keep Fang because I have this feeling that that's what was just given to me. Gonna get rid of a whole bunch of nonsense. Gonna keep those. Selling a whole bunch of garbage. I think I'll sell the Dawn Ring and the Spiral Bond. Not selling that because it's important to corruption. Dexterity, armor, spirit resistance. Might put that on. Don't know yet. I don't use this stuff. I never seem to use this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of all of these like gifts because I've never used them. At this point, trying to give them to these characters is not going to do me any good. There's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff just holding onto for no apparent reason. That being said, I could have been giving some of these things to keeping all this stuff. Still have a whole bunch of money. Prince Fluffernutter, what do you have? Dexterity, damage. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there then. There we go. Gonna quick save and then make my way towards the end. Second floor. Crap. There's still more floors. I should have known. I thought maybe, just maybe, I'd be fine. I wouldn't have to deal with much more. I'd just be going from there straight to the dragon. But I was wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Crap. Great. And it's gonna force me into a one particular route.
Allow me.
I'm not gonna be
I
able to
could do
go
that for
in
you.
any other direction.
Of course. Allow me. I could do that for you.
If only there was a way to circumvent all these floors.
All right.
In D&D, I would be scaling the side of the building just to get to the stinking archdemon without having to fight all its minions that happen to be inside of the building. Because I am sick and tired of having to deal with all of these things. I don't want to go through these, like, floors. I hate these floors. There, this area was unimportant to my quest. This game has a stinking, stupid relationship with sticking stuff at the top of towers. It's like, you know what? Mage Tower. Top of the tower? Creepy old... like... Mage dude decided to give himself over. Become about abomination.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
Let's go over there. Get that mushroom out of that chest. I need the mushroom. Not really.
Allow me. I could
I
do
could
that
do
for
with
you.
less mushrooms and less ice salves apparently as well. I know I'm so close to the end. I'm like really close to the ending. Quick saving. There's stuff on the other side of this door! Liliana, you did not contribute, except for maybe some of these Genlocks over here on this one side.
Going.
I'm very disappointed in you.
All right.
I'm here.
I know you're here. Summon your doggo. Or your bear. That's not really a doggo. Never mind on that. I completely forgot what I was summoning there and said doggo. Right then, I just went all the way around for no good reason. There's nothing in here. There's literally nothing worthwhile in this room. Not even a doorway into the next one. Like I need. You stinking Genlock Trappists. I'm smack you. That's where they was.
Right ahead. On my way.
Going.
The assassins in this game can't seem to actually do something about me. First we had Zevran, now we've got these Genlock Master Assassins, so-called. Considering their Darkspawn, makes sense that they're not exactly that great when it comes to assassination attempts. I don't like that huh sound. Yep, I knew something was beyond this door. It's an emissary. I don't like this emissary. It has ogre friends. Don't you dare do that. Stop it. Nice job, Alistair. I'll go start picking up the spoils of war as you finish that off.
me.
Yes,
I could do
Liliana,
that for you.
I know you can do this. This is why I am requesting your
Allow me.
presence at these
I
chests.
could do that for you.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff. It's like, yeah, we know, we're about to send you on a quest to kill something incredibly dangerous. Here's stuff. Make sure you don't die. At least
Allow me. I could do that for you. Allow me. I could do that for you.
We're going.
rooftop. Okay, we're about to do this. I'm gonna actually save again over this save. .46. And here we go.
Yes.
The archdemon. What this has all been leading up to. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the dwarves.
We must fight.
What I don't like is that you can't just summon all the people that you've got. Okay, so go ahead and group heal. Also, yeah, no, you don't have any stuff.
Wait. Let me. There's no need for you to die. This is my duty. I should be the one to kill it.
This is my duty as much as yours. We're both Grey Wardens.
But I got one up on you. I'm not just a Grey Warden. I'm the king. And I want to be a good king. And this right here is the best king I could be. My first and last act being to stop the Blight before it really starts. No one could blame me for that, could they?
I think you would be a good king, Alistair.
Really? Because I think I would be a piss-poor king. I don't know the first thing about it. Not to mention that you're the best friend I could ever have asked for. I would be dead if you hadn't saved my life a dozen times over by now. So let me save yours just this once.
I can't let you do it. I'm sorry.
And then, it was over. With the Archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come. But the Blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its queen. Grey Wardens stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
This is very bittersweet to me, for me, because usually what I end up doing is I take Morgan up on her offer. But I felt that with the way that Hector, I don't think Hector, I've already talked to him about how what his feelings are on Morgan as a character. He already said he doesn't care for her. And then there's the whole her turning into a giant spider. That doesn't help much, but my thought process is he doesn't trust Morgan. He didn't know whether or not Morgan was telling the truth. Just, well, on the ritual, just how much that would change things.
My friends, we are gathered here to pay our respects to the Grey Warden that saved us all. He gave his life to destroy the Blight, and that is a sacrifice we must never forget. It was no accident that he was there, either. He was special, and each of us had our life touched by him in some way. Some of you were his friends and companions, some of you he helped. It was his word that put me on the throne, even though he barely knew me. I am grateful beyond measure. The Grey Wardens could not have asked for anyone finer. How does one properly honor someone like that? The Grey Wardens are building a magnificent tomb at Weishaupt, next to that of Garahel, but I believe more is required. Syrian, please step forward. You are the Grey Warden's father, are you not? We had some difficulty finding you.
Things in the alienage are chaotic. Help has been slow to arrive.
I'd like to change that. I have decided that the alienage will have its own ruler. Someone to speak in the Landsmeet as an equal. I'd like that to be you, the first ban of the alienage, if you're willing.
My lady, I don't know what to say.
I wish your son was still here to fill the role himself. As it is, it's just a start. I promise you that. Let all know that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arlhau, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, and hopefully live up to this example. Friends, let us hope that he has gone on to a better place, and that he knows just how thankful we are for what he has done here. Now, we bid the hero of Ferelden farewell. He will be sorely missed.
In the months that followed her coronation, Enora proved herself an adept ruler. Trade agreements with other lands quickly brought new funds into the royal coffers, and with them, the Queen saw the capital rebuilt. The army was restored, laws were passed to encourage freeholders to produce sufficient harvests, and plans were conceived for a university. Despite Loghain being executed in disgrace, Queen Enora insisted on building a monument to her father overlooking the Orlesian embassy. The statue was largely ignored, saved by Enora herself, who voyaged out to the statue once a year to place flowers at its feet. As the years passed, Enora continued to rebuff the advice of Ferelden's nobility, requesting that she remarry. Though prospective suitors from other nations visit Denerim from time to time, the Queen's only comment is that all of them fall far short of the bar she measures them against, that of her father. Rumors that the Urn of Sacred Ashes had been found, and that it was used to heal Arl Eamon of his poisoning, circulated in Ferelden in the months following the Darkspawn defeat. Oh well, we're still going through this. Slowly at first, and then with growing frequency as the Grand Cleric failed to deny them. Once the Chantry made several attempts to verify the rumors, however, there came an official decree that no resting place for the ashes had been found. If the Urn of Sacred Ashes was in those ruins once, it was no longer. I don't remember doing anything to the urn that would cause that. I think this is kind of glitching out on me. Following months of effort, the Tower of the Circle of Magi was finally cleansed of the last spirits to slip through the veil. No further abominations were created, and First Enchanter Irving was pleased to declare the circle safe. All that could be saved had been. With the slavers shut down in the alienage, the lot of the city-born elves improved for a time. A food shortage years later forced Queen Enora to come down hard on elven rioters, an act not quickly forgiven, and a sign that tensions between the elves and humans were far from resolved. Shiani continued to be an outspoken member of the alienage community, and in time became the new elder. That outspokenness earned her frequent trouble, but served her people well. Arl Eamon returned to Redcliffe, beginning the long task of rebuilding. He found the village already bustling and eager to leave behind the memories of those terrible nights facing the undead. Connor was sent off to study at the Circle, and considering his earlier experiences, he excelled in his training and easily passed the harrowing to become a full mage. At his father's urging, Connor accepted a position in Treventur to undertake formal study of the Fade. The Dalish elves prospered after the siege at Denerim, having earned much respect for their part in the battle. For once, human lands welcomed the wandering folk. The new keeper, Linnea, was respected both amongst the Dalish as well as the Ferelden court. She was a voice of reason, and other Dalish clans would turn to her to help resolve disputes with human folk. In time, many of the Dalish clans moved to the new land provided for them in the south near Ostagar. Wary of the human neighbors, however, tensions soon rose again, and only Keeper Lanaya's leadership kept peace alive. In Orzammar, King Balin quickly proved himself a reformer. Trade with the surface lands increased and caste restrictions were loosened. Casteless were permitted to take arms against the Darkspawn in exchange for new freedoms. For the first time in generations, the line in the Deep Roads was pushed back, and a few ties were reclaimed. Balin's reforms quickly found him enemies within the warrior and noble castes, however, and after several assassination attempts, the assembly was dissolved. The king then ruled alone. Some said as a tyrant, others said as a visionary determined to drag Orzammar into the modern world. Dwarven mage Dagna ultimately completed her studies at the rebuilt Circle Tower on the surface. Eventually, she published a comprehensive theory on how Illyrium vapors relate to the study of supply magic. It gained a great deal of attention. This inspired mages from other parts of Thedas to establish a new circle of magi in Orzammar itself, one that had ready access to Dwarven lyrium and lies outside the Chantry's power completely. The willingness of Orzammar to harbor apostates sparked outrage that began whispers that the Divine was contemplating a new exalted march. Although the Anvil of the Void was destroyed, rumors about its location crept into Orzammar. Years later, thanks to the defeat of the Darkspawn on the surface, a few determined smiths managed to locate the Anvil's remains. They examined the ruins of the Anvil and, upon returning to Orzammar with their findings, convinced the Shaperate to attempt to recreate Caridin's research. A new golem was created, bound with a spirit taken from the Fade. The golem immediately went insane, killing several Shapers before it was destroyed. The research was branded excessively dangerous and sealed away. Whispers of its existence circulated throughout Orzammar, however, and a man among the Smith caste to reopen Caridin's research refused to abate. True to her word, Morgan vanished the same night she made her offer at Redcliffe Castle. Someone of Morgan's description was later seen traveling alone, heading west through the Frostback Mountains. Several years later, tales out of Orlais said that the strange, dark-haired mage had insinuated herself within the Empress's court. As for the Grey Wardens, Nora was as good as her word. The Arling of Amaranthine was given the order and a new headquarters established there. A statue of Hector towers over its entrance, in memory of one who made the ultimate sacrifice so that others might live. Hector's remains were transported with a full honor guard to the Grey Warden fortress of Weishaupt in the Anderfels. There they were installed in the tomb alongside those of the 4 others who have made that same sacrifice to defeat the Blight. Alistair returned to the Grey Wardens for a time, insisting that new recruits pay respect to Hector's sacrifice and campaigning to relax some of the Order's more secretive policies, but in time he left the Wardens once more, declaring that it simply no longer felt right. He traveled to Duncan's birthplace and there placed a small monument in the man's memory. Where he went afterwards is unknown. Wynne remained in service to the throne of Ferelden for a time, politely refusing the position of First Enchanter when it was offered to her. After almost a year, she quietly collected her things and announced that she was journeying to see more of the world before her time came. And then she was gone. Sten bowed once before Hector's remains and then left without a word, returning to his homeland. His honor had been restored, and when fellow Kunari asked if there were worthy people outside Parvolin, Sten would answer that in all his travels he had only met a single one. Oghren had accepted a position as a general in the army of Ferelden, the first dwarf ever promoted so high, and eventually both sobered up and married. When his first son was born, Oghren held him in his arms and wept, and named him after the friend who had changed his life so long ago. Shale left Ferelden soon after the battle at Denerim, refusing all offers of reward by the royal court. Gollum was not seen again, but rumors abounded of an angry dwarven woman in the far north who hunted pigeons with reckless abandon. Liliana remained at court for a time, penning a ballad dedicated to Hector, one that would eventually become known throughout Thedas, but after one performance of the palace, Liliana quietly vanished. Some say she returned to Orlais, but it is not known for certain. As the blighted lands began to heal and the Grey Wardens slowly rebuilt the Order in Amaranthine, they discovered that the fight against the Darkspawn was not yet complete. Although the Horde was routed and had dissolved upon the Archdemon's death, many of the more powerful Darkspawn survived to organize roving war bands that preyed both upon the land and upon each other. These war bands spread havoc, and some even journeyed west into Orlais, or crossed the shining sea by the deep roads. They proved incredibly difficult to wipe out. But these are tales for other heroes. The tale of Hector ended when he sank the blade into the Archdemon's head and destroyed it forever. Whatever follows, his sacrifice will not soon be forgotten. This is bittersweet. Like I was saying, Hector wouldn't have trusted Morgan, so his choice was to not follow through with the ritual. That choice led to Morgan running off, and then because Riordan died trying to kill the Archdemon the first time around, it fell upon both Hector and Alistair to choose who would deal the final blow. And the way I played Hector throughout, while part of it is still supposed to be, it's like him, and I feel like he would be hesitant on just giving up his life like that. The other part of it is like character development. I feel like at this point he and Alistair had become good friends, comrades in arms, and he wouldn't have wanted to let Alistair take the final blow. And probably kind of felt slightly guilty over not taking Morgan up on her offer, because they probably both could have survived, and he wouldn't have had to make that choice. The big thing is that from now on, when I do these games and I have characters that are based off of like friends or family members, I'm probably going to have them co-commentate during the campaign with me, so that I'm not sitting here making choices, not 100% sure whether or not they would make those choices in that particular moment. And that's going to be starting with Dragon Age Awakening, whenever I get to that one. For now, though, I'm just wanting to get through the ending of Origins, in particular, just the end credits. Little bit of backstory on how I got into this franchise. I found a Let's Play of it on YouTube, and watched all the way through it, and really enjoyed the story, enjoyed the character creation, and the way that the combat worked, the interactions with the NPC party members, all of that stuff got me to decide I want to get that for myself. So I got Origins for the PS3, actually. This is the PC version, as evidenced by the mouse that is now darting all over the place. Reason I got it on PS3 is because that's what I had at the time, and I enjoyed the game, but I think I played it on the easiest difficulty, which I'm pretty sure is just easy in this. Got all the way through the game, and once I beat it, I felt really awesome, but now that I look back on it, it's just like, you played it on the easiest difficulty. Of course you're going to get through this game without much hassle. But the funny thing is that at the very end, when I fought the Archdemon, I lost everybody's side from my main character, so that was part, I guess, of it. It's just like, I dealt the final blow, I got through it despite losing everybody. So that watching through the Let's Play and then playing through the game myself basically got me hooked on the franchise for the most part. There's some stuff that I think could have been handled better, in particular some of the stuff in Dragon Age 2 with the reused maps, which we're going to get to eventually, but at this point I just need to get through Awakening first, which is going to be probably the hardest to slog through on my end. Oh, hello again. Sorry for the weird cutoff and interruption here. I just got a couple emails after I originally uploaded this video saying that it had been copyright claimed for the 2 songs that were in the end credits. I should have thought of this sooner, didn't really pay any attention at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and edit the video, change it up a little bit, just in case. Want to make sure there's no issues on my end from that. Like, don't think it would be a problem if I was to leave the original up. It's just a matter of precautions, you know. Anyway, the ending of the video was basically me just talking through the entirety of that last bit
and just kind of like rambling on about random stuff. Kind of went over some of the stuff like the EA shenanigans that caused some issues with both Dragon Age Awakening and Dragon Age 2 a little bit. Talked a little bit about having read just one of the books, but it wasn't necessary to the video, so I just went ahead and decided, we'll just cut this out and go from there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching the Let's Play, and I hope this bland ending card picture drawing that I did isn't too dumb looking for you to stare at for a second. Anyway, I hope to see you all next time.